Welcome to our weekly new Gambia, our new global media talk show. Today is January 21st, 2024. Today we're gonna continue to speak about Gambian football in general and also the AFCON. What are the things that we did right and what are the things that we did wrong? And how can we improve from there? From the coaching point of view and players' point of view, and also fan point of view, and the government point of view. So we're gonna tackle it, in different angles, but we are sure that definitely this discussion would really be important to us as a nation and also to the stakeholders, the players, as well as the coaching team, technical team, and also a Gambian citizen moving forward. Because football brings pride to a nation. Football makes a nation magnifies and become, known all over the globe. Football is a way that sells the nation. So without any further ado, I will introduce our guest. We have Buba Bojang, a Gambian living in Seattle, a concerned Gambian who once played in division, I believe in Division 2. So he's gonna give us a rundown of what his thoughts are when it comes to this AFCON tournament and Gambian football as a whole. So I have my co-host here, Sam Sise from Indiana. Sam, welcome. And Famara would join us, Famara Drammeh, and Madam Boj, Sainey Boj, who was also a footballer, could also join us later on in this discussion. I'm your host here, Momodou Sawaneh, New York City. Welcome, Buba.
Yeah, thank you. Thank you for having me, my honor to be part of this one, continue contributing to the Gambian football.
Thank you,
Yeah.
thank you, thank you. We know
Yeah.
that again, you have taken a precious time of of your time to be with us here because you are a concerned Gambian and you think you need to speak up, you need to say stuff about our football. So let's start from the preparation point of view, from the technical operation point of view, and from the whole I mean AFCON, our AFCON performance as a whole. And then we do it in two segments: Gambian football as an operation itself, and also our performance in AFCON. So
Mm.
whichever way you start, we okay with that.
Okay, I think my biggest concern with Gambian football is, management and lack of structures. Um, in any organization, if you lack structures, to succeed, it's going to be very difficult. I think for the Gambia, our national team, we just been lucky, having results, but lack of management and structure is affecting the team because if you don't have a structure, it affects, the organization's, strategic future goals. And that's what, Gambian, football, is facing right now. That include like, if you don't have a structure, you cannot prepare. Look at the AFCON, this the poorest, preparation, by GFF, to our national team, they cannot succeed. The day they're traveling, to, Ivory Coast, from seconds from, strategy, almost we lost all those players. Mentally, that, and the psychological impact, affecting the players, I don't think they will succeed in this tournament. To me, when I saw all those things, I know that it's going to be very difficult, for this team to succeed because what they encountered. But, when you look at, the dynamic of Gambian football, and looking at GFA, those, two, pieces are not aligning, and it's going to affect, our team going forward. To me, our football, our GFA is just like an old computer that need, an upgrade. It need a system upgrade. They need to wipe out all that system. Start it fresh to go up because one problem with Gambians. I think like, we don't listen to each other. Gambians are talented people. We have experts. We have skillful people, but people don't listen because when you start criticizing, they see you as an enemy. But what you input in, they don't take that as a resources, to implement that, moving forward. I think this, that's something that is affecting our football. And if it is not fixed, I don't think, we're going to prosper, So, and the talents, when you look at the way, they're recruiting players, I think it's not good too. We have players who are playing in Europe, very good players are not included in this national team. So that's a kind of concern. I don't know why that was happening. I think only GFF and the coach have those answers, But I think we need to start implementing some structures so that we can be successful in the future, because we are failing. Look at Mauritania, our neighbors, Guinea-Bissau. They're all producing good players. For example, with the gold project, that failed in the Gambia, it was a success in Mauritania. So corruption and other stuff is affecting our football really. But when you look at everything, is lack of structure, lack of structure, and we will not succeed if we don't, have a system upgrade, Yeah.
Okay, so thank you for hammering that point. System upgrade, it's like an old computer. We need to, upgrade everything, all the infrastructure and so forth. And we need to also attract new players, and then some talented players are not included in the team. That has to do with corruption. So those are the takeaway from this. So what I would say, and I will allow Sam to come in, but what I would say is that is it the GFA leadership that we need to point finger at, or the our government ineffectiveness to scrutinize and hold them accountable and put competent people there, having to put people there who are still like vulnerable, and then they are not people who can do the job. What is your take on that?
Yeah, I think for me, I'll point fingers at the GFF because like if the government want to involve too much, they said like the government is involving too much into the soccer, like what happened in Kenya, they were getting suspended. But I think Gambian football issue is GFF because we are putting people in place who are not interested in developing Gambian football, but only themselves. We have all players. Look at what Senegal is doing. We can take example from Senegal. They're putting all players, taking in charge of some of the technical stuff, even the coaching. But that's the opposite in the Gambia.
Yeah, all
We have
players like Alaji Diouf and them.
Alaji Diouf, Alaji Diouf and others. Even Senegal, they have their issues, but not like Gambia. Why can we follow, the same thing? We bring all players who were, former national team players. We have Idrissa Sonko and others. We have Dudulum, we have Jato Sise, and others. Ibusila and others. They can be an inspiration to these players. Look at the Gambia's, technical, crew. They are all old. They need to retire and give opportunity for the young ones to lead, because that's the issue with Gambia. You want to hold on to the position till you die. No, man. Sometimes you gotta give up, retire, give it to the young people, because this is the generation for the young ones. Those. I'm not saying that they should not be there, but for me, enough is enough. GFA need to be remodeled and give opportunity to the young ones to lead. Kaba and others, they don't know nothing about football. They need to leave and give an opportunity for people who know football, who can implement policies and procedures to be successful. Because you cannot run a project without a plan, without involving other stakeholders. You will never succeed. That's why every project that comes to the Gambia is a failure, because we lack people to lead us. They're not leading us, but they're leading themselves, to pocket, whatever comes, because there's no accountability and transparency. So me, I'll point my finger at the GFF because they are the one failing us,
Very good. You mentioned
Yeah.
something here that Sam always mentioned, which is if you fail to plan, you plan to fail.
Yeah.
You know, the fact that we have those old folks, nothing wrong
Mhm.
with old. I mean, we all gonna get old. We
Mhm.
don't discriminate anyone, but
Yeah.
if their ways of playing is outdated, it's not
Yeah.
in line with what is going on today, and the football has changed. We need
Yeah.
fresh people who just finished playing their career and they are in the country. They could
Mhm.
build. You mentioned something about like, including people like Jeto Cisse, people like
Mhm.
Ibu Silla, and all those other players who really did well when they were playing. They could be an inspiration.
Yeah.
That's a very, I mean, a key thing, because those are recent players who could really be around these players and give them some techniques, feedbacks and all of that. But
Mhm.
we've seen that happening in Senegal. Alhaji Diouf, was very instrumental and is still instrumental to the team. Even if
Mhm.
you don't have to pay these people that much, maybe these people already make their money, but you
Mhm.
involve them in the technical team. But you
Yeah.
put some people who are clueless about what what present day soccer provides or what are the techniques, then you subjected yourself to failure. And I
Yeah.
think what we are experiencing. We are really not really prepared. And after the game, they asked Yankuba Minte what was his take on the game. He said we were just not ready. That was
Yeah.
the reply. We were just not ready. And if you sum that up, that seems to be true. It looks
Yeah.
like we have a team of talented players, but there's no preparation, there's no
Mhm.
coordination, and there's no incentive.
Mhm.
So you end up not being functional
Mhm.
in front of your peers. So I think that's what we just saw in the two games that were played. So before we go into the game, now that we spoke about the structural dismantling or revamping what is not working, from human resources point of view, from the point
Mhm.
of view of infrastructure, and from the point of view of governance and leadership.
Mhm.
We're gonna be, once Sam come in, contribute, we can look at these two teams, I mean these two games, and decipher what went wrong and what could have
Mhm.
been done, since some of us do have some knowledge when it comes to soccer. So
Yeah.
Sam, we can let you come in, and then and if you can contribute to some of the things that our guests really lamented here.
Absolutely, Mr. Sawaneh and Mr. Bojang. So thank you for your time for getting on this talk show today. So we really appreciate you.
Yeah.
This is something we talked about last week, and today is more like a continuation because we had a second game. And last week, one of the things that I said, and it's something I always say, is that if you fail to plan, you plan to fail. So Gambia failed to plan properly. Planning includes the structure that you said, all of that. We don't have the right structure for it. And I didn't even know that we still have some old people in there that are
Nothing,
helping.
nothing, nothing wrong with old, but
Okay. Well, nothing, when I say old people, not my age, but people that have been there a long time but and don't have the clue about football. They're there, but it's just like when you have someone in a position that has never done that, played that game, it's just like nominating someone to be a school principal, but they've never been a teacher. See what I mean? If you've never been a teacher and you won't be a school principal, how are you going to hold those teachers accountable? Do you even know what they're teaching? You're not going to have any idea. You're just going to be there as a symbol, just the body being there as a leader of the team, but you don't really know. You can't help those teachers improve their teaching. It's the same thing. These people in there that have never played football and never been in any kind of role in football, they are working with our team, and they're not going to help them. They should not really. They're just filling a position. That's what they're doing. They're filling a position. And I said this yesterday, and you, Mr. Bojang, mentioned this today also, corruption. I said corruption is our biggest issue because as part of corruption, they will keep the people in there just because they know each other or this is related to so and so because of this, this, and that. Let's get them there. No, we don't need that. We need the people that are going to move us forward. We don't want people that are going to hold us back. So Gambia, like you said, I will blame the GFF too. I will point fingers at them. They need to restructure. They need to reorganize. They need to recruit the talented players, best players out there. There are Gambians, just like you said, Gambians playing international all over the place. Bring those people and get them in there, and also bring former players that have experience in football. Help them, bring them to help coach our team. You can even get a coach out of them. You know, bring them in to be able to be the ones that are going to guide these players. You need to have a coach for the forward players. You need to have a coach for the defensive players. You need to have a coach for the midfield or you know, like that. You need to have these people that have already played football at international level. Let them share their experience with these young talented teams. If we have that kind of structure, and the other part that I said last week was the recruiting part of it. I think it's very, very important. Our government and the Ministry of Education, from the Ministry of Education to the Ministry of Sports, to collaborate to make sure that we're recruiting talents by encouraging kids from primary school to play football, give them scholarships if they get to high school, encourage these people to really give them free education to and create competition between schools in the country. That way, that competition is going to make a lot of people motivated to play football because there is going to be a national championship between primary schools and a national championship between high schools, where the president will be invited to go sit and watch that and present a trophy to a school that won that. Now, this is how you encourage football. I mean, that's going to make all kids, all team, every school is going to participate in football because there will be a regional championship, and then from basically area championship and regional championship. From region, they go to state championship, and that's where the president get invited, and the Minister of Sports and all of these people get in there. Minister of Education, they all go and support. This is an opportunity for GFF also to be looking at all those high school games and identify the best players they can help sponsor and help motivate to get them into the next level so that they can put them in their recruiting line. That way, when the next team of players are dropping off or they move on to international games, you have a good talented team that you can pick from here that are from our under 20 or under 17 or whatever they are. You can recruit them from there and get to the next level. But it all needs a structure. You've got to start from somewhere. You've got to build a strong foundation. Just like when you're building a house, you need a foundation, a good foundation for the house. So football, we need to have that good foundation from primary school level all the way up. The structure gets there, get organized, and have the right people that can coach be there. If you cannot coach, you've never played football, we don't want you there. They need to get them out of there because they're just wasting our time. They're wasting our money and not producing anything. So they need to look at that. They need to look at that. Even in Europe and in America, when they give you a position to lead people, they're going to watch you the first year. The first year is considered a learning year. It's the year to learn about the people, get to know each other, build chemistry, and all that stuff. The second year, they expect you to produce something, right? If you don't produce anything in the second year, you get to the third year, you don't produce anything, you're out of there. They will get you out and get somebody else. That's what we need to look at from all these coaching standpoints to get the right people. So, but at the end of the day, we've got to kill corruption out of this. Corruption is our biggest struggle, is our biggest setback for our country. It makes us not to do the right decision because we are being corrupted. We are favoring certain people that should not have been favored.
Thank you. Thank you. Corruption. The old folks don't want to go. We don't want any age discrimination, but people who've been there for long, they didn't want to go because they're holding on to that corruption and making money, making business, monkey business. So the system should be revamped, have new talented people, technical team, include Gambian players, recent Gambian superstars, in your technical team to coach, to assist these guys with skills so that we can put us play on another level. If you look at Gambia, my observation, Gambia has great players across the board, hands down. Each of those people in the individual capacities can play. But you know what they lack? They don't have their level of play cannot match other teams. That's why they are struggling. The level need to be, pushed. It's like when you are in a running competition or when you are sprinting, I'm the same speed with Sam. What do I need to move up a little bit? Do I have to do more workout? Do I have to stay and work out twice more than Sam? So Gambia need that cousin in order to really beat this, highly sophisticated team like Senegal and other teams. It's not like, if you see the ball movement, they can hold the ball, they can pass, they can execute, but it all comes down to that level where they need to be. And that level comes with preparation, it comes with coaching, it comes with technicality, it comes with strategies, it comes with motivation from the system. The system has to really drive you. I saw I think was it Guinea player. He was so hungry that he grabbed onto the soil and he uprooted the grass because he missed something. A layup that's supposed to be a goal. I haven't seen one Gambian player in these two games, but I was so hungry that you can see it on their face. Why?
Yeah.
Because you know why? The motivation is not there. The system is not there. They don't believe in themselves. Confidence is lacking. And the need for it. Why should I kill myself to do this for the country? What does this mean to me? So this is one of the reasons I observe. I'm not like sophisticated, for football, distant fans or football, expert like, some of you guys. But I can tell you, the hunger and the need to tear that net down wasn't there. The only person who made strategic attacks that was really, really, motivating and really, really impressive was Yankuba Minte. But he came at the last 20 minutes. And then one of his attack was like offside, which was a mistake. If he had really, because also that has to do with experience. All he has to do is just watch and then let the ball be released from the passer and made his move. He could have even get that ball if he had a little bit waited, just a little bit, and that would have been a goal. So all these things again comes with, really, more, having to give the players what they need and their preparation, because, people, you are in that game, they can make a mistake anytime. But the most important thing is once they are coached and then they are prepared, they will know when circumstances like that, happens. But I will let our guest to come up and then give us the insight of these two games against Senegal and Guinea. What went wrong? What would have done to actually save ourselves, not to be in this hole? Because we're in a hole right now. In order for us to win, Senegal has to beat Guinea massively, and then we have to beat Cameroon massively. And then that's where goal difference will come. And I don't see that happening. Because Cameroon also is trying to do whatever they could to also go to the next round. And we know what Cameroon is. All right, so Buba, you can come in.
Yeah, thank you, for that analysis. I really like that. For me, watching the two, games, my observation is, as you said, lack of preparation. If you are well prepared, you are motivated. So the Gambian players, to me, they're not hungry, they're not hungry. Like I'm sitting, analyzing the game. You can see these people are not hungry. I'm not like standing here to criticize them. they're doing their effort, but I'm not seeing that hunger in them. When I'm looking at the players, I can say the defender Coley, and the young lad you're talking about,
Yeah,
Minto. You can see like
the hunger.
he won it.
Yeah.
He won it. And Musa Barrow too is playing, but like, man, I don't understand. But the problem is just, I think the GFF have killed the morals of these players. They're not motivated. They're just going into the tournament. We just go and play. That's how I'm looking at it. Because even against Guinea, the goal they concede, that should not be a goal. That was a really bad defending. But when you look at the coaching, the coach, like every game you changing, players, that means you are not well prepared, because you should have your exact 11 man. These are my first choice players who you identify through test games and stuff. So lack of preparation is continue to kill this team. So I don't know how we're gonna get out of this hole if God bless us, but I don't see any way. The caliber of players Cameroon have, in compared to Gambia, we cannot match their talent. Honestly, to qualify, that's going to be a blessing. That will be the biggest opportunity. I'll wake up and dream about that, but I've not seen it. But as I said, like, if you don't have a good technical crew, your team is going to struggle. It's just like a project, only without no, with a project manager, but you don't have no, assistants, who running the project. You're trying to run a project on your own. So that's it's still affecting the Gambia. As I'm coming back, like, we need a good technical crew that will assist this coach. For me, honestly, I'm not a fan of this coach, because I don't think, he's just lucky getting results, but he's not putting Gambian football as where it's supposed to be, compared to when I was watching the national team under Paul Put, the way the boys playing, and now it's quite different. He's getting the results, but I don't think he's the right, a coach for the Gambia,
Right. So talking about coach, I want to come in there a little bit. The coach had a press conference a day before the Guinea game, and attacking journalists, especially us, because we are also in our own context, we are kind of like sharing information. Say that people didn't give him credit, instead they were criticizing. And when he wins, nobody says anything. But when the team lost, they go to the coach. And he said that Gambian journalists are really, really disappointing. They disappointed him, and the way we are doing, saying information wasn't good and all of that. So the coach already tried to be defensive before Guinea's game. I think that was a wrong timing. You could have waited until when we are eliminated. You can come up with those kind of you can give your analysis, or your thought about what you think went wrong on the side of the journalist. But the coach didn't do that. So I think he used that try to cover himself in case we lost the game. Because again, the confidence is not even in the coach.
No.
It's not even in the coach. And we have to give him credit for taking Gambia to AFCON, because Gambia hasn't been going to AFCON before. Maybe that time we were not serious about soccer. But the way Gambians are serious about soccer now, I think they will be going to AFCON and perhaps even have a shot at the World Cup. So all we need is, like you said, a coach that's also hungry. And that is saying that, by hook or hack, we got to do this. And the players also got to be in the same mindset. But if you are, working, if you are working on something and there's no you are not showing that you're hungry and you're determined and you are motivated, it kind of, spirit goes down. But like you said, the Kohli, I have to give it to Kohli. Kohli was dismantled. If it was not Kohli defense, we would have consumed more goals. I can guarantee that. The defender Kohli, I don't mean the other Kohli forward, but the defender. And also,
Omar Kohli.
And also, why is it that Gambian team cannot produce, super classic, attackers or score, players. I have not seen that. I haven't really, maybe that time I wasn't in soccer, but I haven't really noticed a super classic executor, attacker that Gambia produced, and it's hurting us. Because you know
Yeah.
why? We've seen that in Alaji Juve, their time, Alaji Juve and and the camera, Henry Camera, and others who would tear the defenders like crazy. We are not seeing that. If you look at even the game that was played yesterday, Burkina Faso, you look at their forward, all those teams that had played yesterday, and AFCON, their attackers are, I mean, you cannot even, they tear down the defenders. You have to do that to score. You cannot be like, Musa, what's his name?
Barrow.
Musa Barrow and shooting, just to shoot. That's not the way this thing works. You have to pass. That's what Senegalese do. Dribble. Their defender confuse them. They lose their position. And you find an opening. You can see the second goal, the time by Sadio Mane when these people were playing against Cameroon by Sadio Mane, that was an opening. What they do, they destroy the defense. Anytime Senegal is scoring, they will have some dribbling and some passes within the perimeter of the opponent's defense that will create opening. But somebody cannot position themselves and you come and shoot just to release the ball, making people feel like you are doing your best. That's not how this game is played.
Nah.
So I'm really disappointed in Gambian strikers. I mean, in as much as we can criticize the coach and the preparation, you put me there. I wasted my time. My name is tied to this. Listen, man, we can discuss all what went wrong, but I will make plays that will really, really be rewarding. But Gambians, that forward core, I don't know. So, I don't even know all the forward players. You put a bunch of them there, they can do nothing. They were not even a threat. How can you play 2 games with 0 result, 0 scoring?
Yeah.
How do you explain that?
Yeah, I think
and you cannot also say it's a midfield because they're getting balls. These people are moving balls. So we have to put blames where blames are due. And I think the forwarders really were just fearful and they are not either experienced or they are not technically, dangerous to really lead us away through. Yeah, at least with Guinea, score 1 goal. If we had a draw with Guinea, and Senegal was even ruling for us to really, even though they beat us, they're ruling for us to go to the next round. And guess what happened? We should have stopped Senegal at 1 goal. That way, the goal we concede would help us when we draw with Guinea, or we even beat Guinea. But somebody scored you, and you go, you said, you know what? Let me continue. You change your game right away.
Yeah.
Now you consume more goals. But that's what we see with Senegal, with Senegal game. But I will let you and Sam comment because this is really hit home. I mean, I think even though we are not as experienced as this as others or you guys, but I think with the little things that we see within the game, I think this could have been tidying up, like a chess game, 1 step at a time, and then try to work on not to consume goals and try your chances over there. And if one striker is not doing it, bring another striker that can really do it. Why are you putting Minty in the bench until the last minute? Even if he's injured or if you don't want to injure him or you don't want to put him at risk, come on. It's better for him to come in the beginning, shaking the things out, and you put him in the bench later once you are comfortable. But go ahead.
Yeah.
Maybe I'm not making sense here. I mean, I don't know.
No, you making sense. We analyze the match differently. To me, I think Gambia don't have a midfield. They don't have a midfield.
Yeah, they don't have. I agree. They don't have a midfield. They are just sandwiching them there.
We need. That's why what Sam is saying. Grassroots football need to be encouraged. We need midfield players like Chojallo. Still, Gambia didn't produce a midfielder like Joe since he was out. We need midfielders because if you want your strikers to be, effective, to have a, ball, where they want the ball to be, we need a very creative midfielders, and we lacking, those midfielders. When you look at the midfield players, they're not having playing time with their clubs. I think this is the time we need to embark going back on grassroots football. Develop our players where we want them to be. Because if you want to match other players, teams in Africa, because every team in Africa right now they're playing very good. So the Gambia, I said, we just need to retool everything. We need system upgrade, to start and going forward from where we at. But without that, I don't think we're going to be successful, especially with our midfield. It's a big problem, and the defense too. I think they need to partner, Umar Koli with somebody, So I don't know, like the under 20 kid, he should be invited, the last name is Sainey. That boy is a talented defender, but that is left to the technical team. But I think we have a long way to go, man. With the Gambian
So
football.
are you saying that you don't see any issue with the four strikers?
I'm not gonna blame the strikers too much because they're not getting the ball in the right place. Because you need to feed the strikers. The midfield is not feeding them. With the ball, right. Yeah. So we have a midfield problem. We don't have a good holding midfielder, and we don't have a good defensive midfielder who can close the gap and pass the ball, feed the strikers, where the ball needs to be. Look at Senegal, look at Guinea, like the dead balls they're putting in our boxes. They have good midfield players,
Right. So the midfield is really where the issue is.
It's a big issue, It's a big issue,
And then what and then you're saying one thing, that we need to develop these players. Is it that Gambian players are more focused on striking or something like that? Is that why we are not getting the midfielders? We're not able to get good midfielders.
I think we have players, it's all about preparation, and the structure. Even like the Gambian professional, what I realize, they don't have good support system. That's making a lot of our players fail. Some of them, starting their careers, they will go, and they will not have no team, playing. And we saw that happening to, one of the some of the national team players. If you don't have a good system for your, having a structure and a system, from individual wise to organization wise, is very significant, to be successful in anything you're doing. So our players too need to have a very good support system who is going to help them, manage them, and lead them, for success. That is also lacking, to my observation, when looking at Gambian players.
Right, but because the support system, like other players, the reason why they are not been helpful, because we are not the old folks are not given the opportunities, and
Yeah.
also there's no encouragement, because
No.
like you said, Ibu Cisse, Jato Cisse, and others. Why are we not seeing them around these players?
Yes.
People also cannot come in without being invited, without being given some incentive. We're not paying. They're not saying that give me X amount of money to do this. It's for national pride. In
Yeah.
for a country to stand out, soccer is one of the avenues, and it earns respect around the globe. We have seen Cameroon during Miller time, and still Cameroon is, when you talk about Cameroon, they will say football. When you talk about Argentina, because Maradona put Argentina on the map, they will say Argentina. They will say yes, Maradona, Messi. So you're talking about Algeria, you're talking about Egypt, Hassan Hassan. You're talking about Algeria, what's this guy's name? So you link people to a nation. One person can lift a nation in soccer.
Mhm.
So that's why it's important to be very, focused on this particular sports,
Yeah.
especially for us,
Mhm.
because it could put our nation on the map. If today Gambia produce one of the top players, people will not be searching for Gambia anymore. You tell people Gambia, oh man, that country that we saw in the World Cup, Gambia,
Yeah.
they will go and Google us. You know what? That brings us business, bring us
Yeah.
economy, bring us into
Mhm.
tourism.
Mhm.
So our government should not be sitting and focusing on other things that are not of essential and neglecting some of the most important things that could
Mhm.
bring the country up there. In as much
Mhm.
as we are all individually successful, that is not happening. Let's
Mhm.
focus on things that make our nation's flag raise up for
Yeah.
generations to come. Look at Gina
Mhm.
Bass, put Gambia on the map. One person can do it in every other sports category. Our
Yeah.
Olympic appearance, Gambia was never like that before. So
Mhm.
that's why we need to put money on these people.
Yeah.
Instead of embezzling, going traveling, and all this nonsense, our government should look at FA to say that GFA is, is on its own entity. It's not like that. Sometimes you gotta push things to happen. If I see that this is in the interest of our nation and I'm a leader, I will do anything in my capacity to give incentive in that area to be a success because it will raise our national flag.
Mhm.
And that's what sports means to Gambia.
Mhm.
But our people don't know. We are not seeing because the country's pride is sells the country and then make even our citizens in Europe and other places to be respected and to be given more opportunities. When I tell people about my country, they say they go on the internet to look. I'm from Gambia. Oh, where is that? If you know Senegal, they will tell us that.
Yeah.
Cameroon, it doesn't matter our size. That is not an issue. You can be the smallest and be the most effective. So I think we have the chance. Last week we analyzed that Gambia catch them young. Habib was here. He said that we have that advantage over Senegal. We get recruit young talented players earlier. That's why we are very successful on the 20.
Mhm.
So why can't we just build that up? Why do we have to, let that go, that opportunity? All you have to do is put a little bit money into this, take the corrupted people out, revamp the system,
Mhm.
and put people like yourself or Famara or Sam who would make things work, who will not plan to fail. They will plan to succeed. So I think
Mhm.
it's about time that our government, and a GFA and everybody who is a concerned citizen who really want our national flags to be up to really succeed in this. And I think we are I'm very happy because again, we never had this conversation years ago because we never even made it to AFCON. But I think we see our boys and they're
Mhm.
promising. So we need to take another step. But Mbama
Yeah.
just join us now. I don't know if we can listen. I mean, if he's connecting. If not, Sam can come in. And then,
Yeah.
yeah, Mr. Bojan, then you can go in again.
Okay.
Yeah. Sam, go ahead.
Yeah, we can give Famara time to come in. I think
I
he's
think Barbara is
connected.
trying to connect.
He's connected with audio. Connected with Famara. Can you hear us?
Barbara, your nephew is here. Is
It's not.
Burkude Bojan, if Burkude Bojan Kunda dominated? I see
Yeah,
many Burkutarian whose last name are Bojang.
yeah, there's quite a bit of them there. Yeah.
All right, so
Yeah. But
Sam, come in before
So,
Barbara
so
connect.
yeah, I really don't have much to say now because I think we've since last week we've been on this same thing, and Bojang really emphasized what we need to do, and we all talked about the same thing. That going back to the foundation, I think the foundation is the key here. To build a very strong foundation for Gambia football is key, is paramount to our success. So we need to make sure that that gets done, and somebody's got to be held accountable. GFF is there. Somebody's got to help hold them accountable. and it needs to go up all the way to the president, just like that, hold people accountable to make sure we get the results that we need. If not, make changes, because you've got to make change. If you can't deliver, if they can't deliver what we want, then change that coaching staff, bring the talented people, the people with football experience, bring them in to bring the experience and help the young kids, our young boys, really succeed in football. So I think it's all part of things, and of course bring some morale boosters, because our kids in this team especially were demoralized in the first place when they were put in that bad plane. I don't know who ordered that cheap in the bad plane to put them into travel in the first place, and they were almost going to go all suffocate in that plane and die there. God forbid. But thank God that didn't happen. The pilot made the right decision by going back. That was a bad starting for them. A bad start. It was demoralizing. It was something that really hit them emotionally. And I know everyone is going to look at different angles and put blames and all kinds of things, but anything that went wrong, we've got to say it that way. We've got to call the spade a spade. If it went wrong, it went wrong, right? So we can't make it nice. So all of these are contributing factors to where we are. But at the end of the day, the foundation of our team, restructuring of our team, planning correctly, have the right structure, have the right people in place to be able to help these boys is very, very important to our success. If not, we're going to continue to struggle. And like I said, even the coach need to be held accountable as well, to make sure that yes, he has led us to AFCON, which is good. That's a good track record to have, but we've got to be able to maintain it. We can't just get there and then be falling back out, just like that. That's not good. We need to keep pushing and pushing for better all the time. There's a lot of opportunities for improvement. There's a lot of opportunities for development in the Gambia football team. So that's all I want to say.
Thank you, thank you, thank you. Thank you, Sam. Thank you. Famara, can you hear us? Okay. No, okay. So Famara is not connecting still. Yeah, but Buba, we can let you come in, and then you can elaborate on this, and then we can wrap up. Yeah, definitely. But can you also analyze the both games and see what we have done, so far that went off, and perhaps what is our expectation of Cameroon? I don't know. Is it when are we playing Cameroon? Sam.
Yeah.
Yeah, sorry about that. Yeah, so I think, yeah.
Okay.
So Buba, you can come in. I think you're upside down for some reason. Or you're on the side.
No. I don't know why my camera
Yeah, you are on the
doing that.
side. You can just move it to another angle.
Yeah.
Exactly. You're good. Oh, you pass it. One
I'll
more.
pass it.
Yeah, good. Oh, you pass it. Okay, right there.
Okay. What I'm gonna add is gonna be like my advice, to GFF. Like, let them listen to the journalists and the Gambian fans. People criticizing, them. It's not that they are enemy to them, and that's how they portray people. They should use Gambian, public and the fans as resources to listen to improve, what need to be improved or what need to be upgraded. So we cannot, go like this, and we need a structure. Like what Sam said, we need to bring grassroots football, like high school football, to nurture talent. And we need to put, a system in place. Look at Senegal. 90% of those players are not born in Senegal, but to Senegalese parents living in Europe. If I want my child to come and play for the Gambia, I need something to be put in place, because I will not put my child in a place where that he's gonna struggle. And we have a lot of Gambians, born in Europe, who wants to come to play, for the Gambia. Being a barrier for them not coming, even not willing to come and play to the Gambia, because we've seen, the same mistake repeating, every time, I think now is enough for GFA to try and listen to the Gambian public and use that as resources to develop themselves and put, system and structure in place, for our long strategic goals so that we can achieve, because football is now modernized.
A good team, to be able to get a very good team together and move on. So yeah, so Mr. Sawaneh is back. So can you hear us, Sawaneh?
Yeah, I can hear you. Sorry,
Okay,
my internet connection went bad. Yeah.
Sure. That's what we're saying. He said what he wanted to say, and I told him that that was a great contribution, and we're hoping that the GFF team or someone from there, someone from the government ministry of sport is listening to this. Boy is going to watch this later. Hopefully, take some recommendations, take some of the advice that we gave here, and put it into use, and really start to do some changes. Because without changes, without restructuring, it's going to be very difficult for the Gambia to move forward. So, yep. So, but anyway, so I think we can. We're getting there. I'm not sure if
Yeah, so thank you, Sam, for that. And then again, Famara was not able to join us, but he was trying to connect. But just to summarize our discussion here, I think we have one more game to play, which we don't know if we definitely would survive this. I mean, which we don't think we would, because of the the way things are. You have two down, three or four goals down. I mean, like it's complicated. So moving forward, I think, the GFA, like we said, need to be revamped, bring new people, talented people to help out in the technical team, especially, those players who just recently retired. It could be helpful. Changing the system, making sure that, players are motivated, and then they give an incentive, and also they let the players also be, picked, according to their talent and to fit the team. I think with, preparation and readiness, we can really do even more than what we did last, in the last AFCON. But at the end of the day, we have to make sure that we let corruption of the system, because with corruption, nothing is gonna work, because you're gonna be doing things wrong way. So, Buba, I thank you. We thank you for coming and then giving your your thoughts on this. This is very important. You left all your errands, and then just to be here and share this knowledge with us. Famara, yeah, you too, and Sam Sise. Thank you guys for coming in. Your final words, Buba, before we end.
Yeah, man, I just blessed. I'm still praying for the national team, man. The day they lose to Guinea, I went to work sick, and I'm still sick because of that. Everybody was asking me what's going on, man. Like, my heart was trashed because I was never expecting the team to lose to Guinea. That was our getaway, for the starting. But I will still continue praying for the team. It's football; anything can happen. So may God bless them, in their next game to achieve the results we want. And thank you for having me on this show. Because the Gambia is what we have. So we need to give it back to that country. Yeah.
Thank you. And Sam, your final words?
Absolutely. And thank you, Mr. Bojang, for your time, and we really appreciate it. Just like you said, I'll repeat the same thing. Best of luck to Gambia and in the next game, and hopefully we can make a difference. Hopefully we'll do something better, and by the coaches changing something so we can get a different result. Now, hopefully that happens, but it's been an unfortunate start, and for Gambia this year. Hopefully we can do better. So I wish them all the best. Yeah.
Thank you. Thanks our viewers again who are watching and sharing this. Hopefully we all learn from this, and then moving forward, let's wish our country a very successful next match to see where it goes. Thank you, guys.
Thank you.
Thank you. Have a good one.
All right.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah. Bye now.
Thank you, Sam. Okay. Bye.
Bye-bye. Yeah.
Right. Bye. Buba Sam.
Yeah.